Welcome back, everybody. I'm Trevor Horn, and we are about an hour and a half into this 2018 Coaches Super Show here in the downtown studios. This is brought to you by Motor City Buick GMC. I am with our sports editor, Teddy Feinberg. Teddy, hour and a half into this, and now, we were just sitting here and we were listening to Darren Carr, the head coach of Bakersfield Christian, and, obviously people know that your younger brother is Darren Carr, who's going now into his 5th year with the Raiders.
5th year, man.
And you went up there and, you saw a guy that I know quite well, Colton Miller, who used to play offensive line at Roseville High School before he played 3 years for UCLA, and now he's your brother's blind side.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when you see a guy who's 6'8", 300 pounds.
No doubt.
And probably looks like he could. You would think he's only 200 pounds because he's so lean, but he's a monster.
Yeah, well, like I told you, man, he's very unassuming, but you can't miss the guy when he's 6'9", man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a super nice guy, man. Just him and Derek hit it off. I don't know if they've talked much or not, but Derek's like, hey, man, how's everything going?
Much,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they've ever, kind of spoken very much. And Derek's like, how's it going? He said, well, better than yesterday. And that was it,
That works.
Life
as long as you're getting better every day.
Life as a rookie,
Well, and that's life as a head coach, too, especially at the high school level, is that you just hope your kids get better every day.
Yeah, for sure.
We are now 9 days away from you guys opening against Garces. Where are the Eagles, man?
Where are we at?
Are you flying high?
We are, man. You know what's good is we haven't had really had a dip in our practices yet. You know what I mean? You kind of worry if you kids are going to be kids on a Monday. It's tough to kind of get those guys up after a weekend. Really haven't had a low, in a practice. You have your thises and that's, man. But for the most part, these guys just love playing football.
You did not start on July 23rd like everybody else, and you told me it's because you guys went hard
Many
all
reasons.
off season.
Yeah.
So, you're compacting 3 weeks before you start.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable with that now?
Oh, we do. Yeah, absolutely. We had a plan from the beginning, man. It may not be what everybody else did, but it's just what we did. We kind of looked ahead and we saw it was 112 outside. We can stay inside and get some work done, some mental reps, and some video and workouts, and that's what we did, man. Yeah.
Teddy, you're chomping at the bit. Talk to Darren. Go ahead.
Well, I guess I'm just wondering, going into the new year, and it's obviously a different year. You guys have been so synonymous with winning at BCHS, and I expect that to continue. But obviously a new league. I guess talk about going in and facing, going from the SYL, if I'm not mistaken, and now you have your Ridge Views of the world that you're going against. I guess just talk about the change in competition there, because it will be a change.
Sure, no doubt. You can't help who you play every year, man. It's on your schedule. You play who you play. What's kind of good is that we do those passing league things every year, and we hold our own. So it's nice to see when you go out there and you compete. You win some games, and you're not showing anything that you're going to show, on a Friday night. It's a long time from now, but you at least get to see the matchups. You get to see the kids out there running around. So that's been good for us every year. Going out there and mixing up with those guys, and it's going to be a fun year.
Be remiss if I didn't ask about the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have produced some very good signal callers there.
Yeah.
Who was the guy last? No, I'm kidding.
Well,
that's a joke.
And you mentioned your brother. You mentioned your brother Derek. He obviously played at Bakersfield Christian. Brandon Jones, Wingle. So those are 3 marquee guys right there.
Right.
How are things looking in 2018? And I actually also want to ask, well, go ahead and answer that question. I also want to ask if schematically things will look different at all for you guys offensively.
Yeah. Braden Wingle is not coming back. Neither is Derek or Brandon Jones. So that's
what?
You didn't know that? No eligibility.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought Derek
but
was
he only
starting.
played 1 year at BCHS. Can we get him
a
few more?
Trevor. Let's write a letter.
Yeah.
To the CIF. Let's do it. No. It's going well though, man. We got a couple quarterbacks right now. Rolled the balls out about 5 months ago, and they've been going at it ever since. And they're both leaders on our football team. Dominic Gamboni and Jake Moran. Those guys are leaders on our team. They help each other out. It's I always like quarterback competitions, man. I like to see quarterbacks kind of a little worried sometimes or a little on edge. It makes me feel good because I'm a defensive line guy, so it's kind of funny to me. But both guys are working their tails off, man. They really are. Great kids. They fit the mold that Braden and Brandon and Derek kind of had at BCHS. Just the character and always being the first ones there, last ones to leave, always doing the extra stuff. So that aspect, they're both in a tie. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll make our decision after a Hoover game.
We love to go live with your games here at BVarsity. I think we had all known for a while that it was on the table,
Yep.
but now that it's official, you guys will be on ESPNU in your home game against Oaks Christian.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you to give your kids? And I know, it might be because of Kevion Thibodeau, who is this all-worldly defensive end. He is a total freak for Oaks Christian. And obviously, ESPN probably wants to get a game with him on the field, on the airwaves. But you as a head coach, how much do you love giving your kids the chance to be on ESPN?
No, for
live?
sure. It's what you said it is, man. We'll take it as it is, man. It's exposure. Puts our school on the map. It kind of puts our kids out there. It's prime time. They can treat it like a Monday Night Football game. You know what I mean? But it's exposure, man. It's good for them. It's good competition too, man. Not just some of these kids get so locked into I'm the best player on my team. Oh, I'm the best player in the Valley. Well, dude, you're competing against guys that are just unworldly. You know, like you said, Kevion Thibodeau. The guy's a freak. You're one of the best defensive ends in the nation. Well, you're about to see one. But yeah, it's exposure. It's an opportunity.
Yep.
It's just good for our school.
We're going to talk to George Falga tomorrow about it. We talked to AJ Gass about it. We're going to talk to Chad Brown, who's on next, about it, and we're going to talk to you about it. You're in your fourth season, which means you now have seniors that started out the year you started out. You had guys that were key integral parts of your team that went to a state championship as sophomores. How much do those senior leaders mean to you as a head coach, knowing that your culture is here?
Yeah, and I actually sat back and thought about that the other day, man. I was like, this is the fourth year, and all these kids have been with us for 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to kind of see where those guys are at, where they've come. I mean, transfers come, guys come in and out. That is what it is.
That's the nature of high school football.
You're going to get with those guys. You're going to get with them, But these kids that have been here for 4 years that are the majority of your starters, that's when you kind of get to see, what have we been doing? What have we been developing? You know what I mean? And we got some really good kids on our football team.
Who are those guys? I mean, we know the
guys have been with us for a while.
Yeah. I mean, we know the Keontae Glintons and the Myron Randalls.
Sure.
Those guys. But then when you talk about the Alex Wallaces and the Chris Gutierrez.
Sure. Yeah, no doubt. Guys that have been with us for the full 4 years, man. I mean, we got a kid named Alan Ronk. I'll throw his name out there, man. He's a strong safety for us, linebacker type guy. Couldn't be more proud of the way he's kind of put his work in. It's funny kind of watching these guys, how they play around a little bit, freshman, sophomore year, junior year a little bit. They're kind of serious, but their senior year comes up, and they're looking back in the mirror I got one more year left, man. This is it. I may never play again. And just kind of watching that kid right there, kind of what he's been kind of buying into since February, into January, and where he's at now, it's night and day, and I'm very proud of him. And we got a bunch of kids like that, man. I mean, Ben's been here for a couple years, not the full 4, but couldn't be more proud of that guy. Chris Gutierrez has been here.
Yeah.
I mean, just some guys that just work.
And Chris has been so integral. Had so many great big catches for you. He had a big catch against Selma in that semifinal game in the state playoffs.
Yeah.
And you look at those games, and you look at those guys that give you that, and how much confidence does that give you, knowing that you've got Garces, CVC. You go out to Las Vegas this year, which is incredible, and play a really good. Faith Lutheran, and then you got St. Joseph.
Yep.
On the schedule before you see Oaks Christian, before you get into a new league. I mean, you need those guys because that's not an easy schedule.
It's not, man. And we were blessed with that one, too, because Vernon Fox is the head coach out there, and him and Dave have a really good relationship, and they were looking for a game. They hit us up, man. We're like, another opportunity, man. Plus, it's Vegas. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't help, especially because that's going to be your brother's new home soon.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we'll go check it out first.
Yeah. So for you, we got about a minute left.
Sure.
What does a successful season mean for you guys, especially now that you're in newfound territory in the South Yosemite League?
Yeah, well, I mean, first things first, man. You want to win. You want to play as hard as you can your preseason games, man. You want to win every game. Basically, that's what every coach goes into. You want to win your league. You want to get a high seed in playoffs, win the Valley Championship, and win a state championship. That has to be the norm, nowadays. Because, I mean, when you win a Valley, you're automatic bid for a state bid, you know what I mean? So our kids understand that. We've been coaching them to understand that. So we'll just take it cliche one day at a time, right, Trevor?
Yeah.
One
day at a time.
Right?
What are we doing tomorrow? We got to get through today, Teddy.
For sure.
Before we let you go,
yeah.
Very rarely do you get a high-end athlete that is just a blue chipper across the board, and I think that you have two of them. One is a senior, one is a junior.
Sure.
Keontae Glinton, how excited are you to see him get in his last year before he goes off and makes a decision on where he's going to play 4-year college football?
For sure. Keontae, man, is he's a blue chipper, like you said, man, but character-wise and just little things, and I'll make fun of him a little bit. Not make fun of him, but we're at the mall the other day, and he's working a hot dog on a stick.
Right.
He got a little hat on, the whole thing, and dunking hot dogs. He's just over there, helping his mom pay bills and stuff, and just kind of says a lot about the kid, and just character-wise, man, he's a good teammate. Works his tail off, dude. Stays after practice, which wasn't always a norm, man. But I mean, this senior year came up, and he's like, you know what? It's now or never, and I got to go. I got to start pushing it. Yeah. But very proud of him, man. Extremely proud of him, and I'm pretty sure the other one was Ben you were talking about. Yeah.
I mean, Teddy, you've seen enough high school and college football. I mean, you rarely see a guy with that size, speed, and tenacity who also might be one of the best students and people around in Ben Yurosek.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly is going to make a difference on both sides of the ball, and I guess I'm wondering what you can do specifically with him on both sides of the ball to really make him a difference maker.
Yeah, you let him play, man. You coach him up, you give him the little techniques and the details and this and that, and that's one thing that's good about Ben, man. We have an uncle that played tight end for the Raiders and the 49ers and this and that, and played in the NFL for a little short stint. And I told him he's going to come down and work with him one day. I said, how would you be like that? He goes, just pick a day, coach. Pick a day. I'll be here for however long he needs me. Like, that's just him, man. He wants to get better. And to have that kind of maturity as a junior, as a young sophomore, not quite a junior yet, is just really great. And just the way he just talks to college coaches when they come in, the respect he has for them. And when he got his offer, which was great, when he got his offer from Nevada, he asked the coach, he goes, Coach, what do I do now? Like, he goes, well, it's an offer, man. It is what it is. Just keep working. He goes, am I allowed to tell people? Can I tweet that? Is that something that I can do? And just very much respectful.
Oh, just wait until those Pac-12 offers starts rolling in for him.
And he's not that kind of guy. He doesn't really care. So that's what's great for him. Yeah. It's kind of like Derek and when he started getting his offers, he didn't really. I mean, it's whatever. I'm just going to keep working. So yeah.
And it works out for you. So best of luck for you. You got a big game starting off next week. You got a scrimmage this week up in Fresno. Yep. Darren, always appreciate having you on, and I know things are going to start rolling for you guys here pretty quickly. So Darren Carr, thanks a lot. Appreciate you. Coming up next, Chad Brown, the head coach of Centennial. We'll be right back.